I just wanted a nice, quiet life. Yeah, I think I should do an introduction. Huh? I just wanted a nice, quiet life as a monk. And then I tried out the TikTok thing. I think everyone knows TikTok by now.
Yeah.
Um, right there in that corner, I tried the TikTok thing, and it blew up very much. I didn't realize people were so into spirituality and Buddhism, and then they find this monk who speaks perfect English, and they just went ecstatic. The whole world went ecstatic for it. And then I realized just some of the comments that they sent on TikTok. I'm suffering. I just broke up. I'm suicidal, and so on. I couldn't help but to reflect my own suffering as a young man, and I decided to make myself available directly to the public. And that I did. I said anyone that would like free counseling, everything we do in Theravada is free, and you can reach out at any time. So I published my phone number to the whole world.
Oh,
That was that was a mistake.
holy.
This would be 5 phones that you all see here.
Wow.
Yeah. And then, but along the way, I had students that became assistant to the venerable, and I was very blessed then. But yeah, answering calls. I went to Ecker College to learn about psychotherapy for 4 years, and I just decided to bring that gift to the world and hear their story. Everyone wants to be heard, to be seen, to be respected. Everyone has, some sort of a unique trauma, addiction, or abuse that they want someone to hear them, to be understood fully. I brought that to the world, and I mean, just thousands of sessions later, now here I am on a Sunday. So I love serving the people, and came novice um, that showed up to my class, and I guess I don't know what I said, but it stood out to him, and he wants to inspire his generation. He's only 21, and pretty soon, it was just the right timing, and I decided to ordain him, and thus now he's been ordained for how long? A month, 2 months,
Almost a month, yeah.
almost a month. Yeah, he's learning the ways. He's learning the ways of the Theravadan tradition, which is the strictest out of all three schools of Buddhism. Supremely strict. 227 rules, thousands of amendments to the rules. So yeah, pretty soon he'll have no hair on his head permanently.
I think that's amazing.
Yes, it's rare. And then we were at the park taking pictures. Gabrielle was taking pictures for it, and the gal that was there was Laos, and she was like, "You all spoke perfect English. We thought you guys were fake monks." Right? Because all the talents, why would we give up everything? This meant that we gave up everything. Gave up worldly pleasures, gave up Rolls Royce, Mercedes, gave up beautiful women, gave up cologne, gave up everything. Owe nothing, want nothing, for the sake of internal joy, happiness, and liberation. So it's funny when we're in public, we mess with all sorts of people. So it's and you ever don't ever see monks wandering around. I have a lot of programs, and to engage with the public directly, to raise awareness with inner peace, world peace, advocating for social justice. It's a beautiful thing now that we turn on the news and we see what's happening. 5-year-olds, shooting teachers and bringing guns to school, at at home playing with Glock switches. Um, Novice Lee here was not one that sat at home and played with Barbie dolls. I can tell you that. This was one that ran away from law enforcement and gave. If had he not ordained, he would have had half the squad looking for him this morning. So and so all the boys, right?
Wow.
Had they not veered towards this path, it would tie up a lot of necessary resources. So I'm just glad that they're here and they're listening to the message of peace and look within, And no matter, when we look outwards, outside of us for joy or happiness, the next fast car, Too Fast, Too Furious, the next airsoft pistol, so we see that it's only temporary. And when we look deep within, who are we? How did we get here? Where do we want to be and who we want to be with? When we can answer those questions and know ourselves fully, we realize that we know who we are. We like who we are, or the start of it. And to accept who we are without needing the acceptance of other people, then peace start to creep up and crawl up, and the possibility of peace. And eventually the priority of peace in one's life, to preserve your youth, to preserve your happiness. And the priority of peace includes whatever costs you peace has to go. It has to go. Anyone that costs you peace has to go, including family members. The Buddha gave up everything. He gave up. Matter of fact, just last night, and thank you, both of you, and the many more students who were present yesterday, for the many laughters. Oh, I couldn't stop laughing. I had to take a nap in the van and woke up, so it disrupted my sleep cycle. So I went back to the biography of the Buddha. And even the Buddha on page 39 said to his father, please, I just want to leave the palace and I need to find an answer to birth, death, decay, disease, old age. I need to find my answers to that, and to have to stop rebirthing, stop the cycle of birth and death. And Father, forgive me, but I have forgotten about you, and you should forget about me as I'm on this quest. So sometimes we have to take a break from family members on our quest to peace. One of the hardest things for me to say, and some of the hardest thing to hear. But however, after 8 years and thousands of counseling sessions, it traces back, unfortunately, to the root cause is family trauma, abuse. Parents are not perfect, and they raised us the best that they could, the best they knew how. And sometimes that fuels the behavior, the manifesting behavior that is of today. So, Buddhism is tough because we want to trace the root cause of the problem deep down within. And that's why not a lot of people, as soon as they get into Buddhism or surface level, they're like, oh, this hits a little too close to home. But it is by and going through the pain that one finds the answers. You have to go through the pain. If not, you will always seek outside of you, and the many monies that will be spent on booze and beers and girls and all of the external sensual pleasures and desires. So I assert that sometimes you have to go through it one last time to find a good, authentic, qualifying teacher, to go through it one last time. And if it's done right, you'll be free. You have broken all of the chains. No different in Christianity, right? My chains are gone. One of the songs in Christianity, one of very liberating songs to hear. Either you desire it, the chains to be broken, or you want to break the chains. Since today's just for some teaching moments, because I was once Catholic before I converted. Oh, of course there is.
Hilarious 15.
This is not it. That's for funerals.
Usually it is. Usually that one is that and Ave Maria.
Chains are gone. I guess I'm the only Buddhist monk that listens to Christian music. I really do. That's one thing we don't have in Buddhism is certain musics that they have, but I think you all get my point. My chains are just how about my chains are gone? It's Sunday service. Well, I need to first and foremost start the Sunday service, huh? So my phone's-
Is that in St. Pete?
here now. Here, the Sunday service is now. Yeah, I just had to give a preliminary talk before. There's a lot of things that we're supposed to do in the beginning, but is it a little hot in here?
Is it hot?
Yeah, and a little toasty.
It is, yeah.
Hard to achieve enlightenment. This is a little toasty. No problem. One, two. It's not working. Oh. Just a little more.
Take that t-shirt off.
I should. Yeah, I think it's me. It's not you. It's me then. It's me.
You're not used to wearing it.
Yeah, this is. Oh, girl. High five.
So giggly today. Must be good. It sounds fun. Yeah. I love it. There you go.
Okay. All right.
Feel a little better?
Oh yeah. Yes.
Little airy?
Hot flashes.
Oh, yeah.
She known for that.
Whatever you women say, right? Oh.
I know.
Oh, I forgot one thing. Instagram, right? Oh, goodness. Let me find it. Struggling life of a monk. Okay. All right. Put that there.
So is that what all five of the phones are for too?
No, they're backups. The phones are for backups.
Oh, okay.
We'll get there.
Okay.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato sama sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa. Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dhammaya, Namo Sanghaya. We pay respect and homage to the Blessed One, the Enlightened One, the one and only historical Gautama Buddha. Good morning to all of you across the world. Happy Sunday to those on the east side of the world. Vietnam, Sri Lanka, Thailand, Laos, Myanmar, Bangladesh, Australia. Good morning to everyone on the east, the west side of the world. You all can put your hands down now. Thank you for a good morning. We have some new guests this morning. And so I get all excited when there's new guests. So I forgot to do the homage to the Buddha. And so, have you guys met before? No?
Today.
Oh, just today?
Well, some of us.
Oh, okay. So if you want to, just briefly introduce yourself just a little bit, so that everyone, acknowledges you and your story and what you look for look forward to in today's Sunday service?
My name's Danielle. I know Glenda because she's my Reiki teacher. She told me about that happy motel over here this morning, so I wanted to come. And anytime I have a chance to sit in awareness, I take advantage of it. So thank you for letting me come 20 minutes a week.
Oh, we were late too. It took forever for all this to get set up.
My name is Stephanie, and Lauren told me about this last night. So I was very excited to come and see what happens and relax. Get to know people. And just exciting so far.
Good. Oh, I bet. It gets better.
Good morning, happy Sunday. I'm Lauren. I found out about this from Brenda the other day, and I told my friend Stephanie, and I'm excited, and I was tired and almost didn't want to wake up, but I promised her, so I was like, I have to show up. Plus, I wasn't sure what to expect, and I'm excited to see what happens.
Very good. Very good. Just a little bit, whatever you feel comfortable sharing.
I'm Andrea, Gabe's sister. Gabe started coming, so I'm here. Basically, that's it.
It's all right. Gabe.
I'm Gabe, and
You take pictures.
not really. Just for them, I just help them.
That's cool.
Sam's friend of basically my whole life. I know him, and he started coming here. I kind of got set up to come here, and I've been trying to come here every Sunday since we're almost a month now.
Sergey.
I'm Sergey. Excited to be here. Thank you guys.
Obviously.
I'm honestly, I was also set up with Venerable Vidal. So, and I'm glad that these two are coming now and hopefully many more. And I want to see what happens too. It's my first time.
You know, monasteries, when you go in there, it's very strict and quiet, and monks kind of look like this. And but they do it for a reason. But when I got into Buddhism, I realized that my own nature, style, disposition wasn't all that serious. It shouldn't be. I mean, I have a very serious job. So before becoming a monk, I was a legal and medical interpreter for the courthouse. So yes, I was actually the youngest, perhaps the youngest in the nation at the time when I appeared. I don't know. I got this thing for being one of the youngest for everything. I don't know why. I think when I first walked in, the judge was like, "Son, are you supposed to be in juvenile court?" And I said, "No, I work for you now." And he says, "Well, sit with the lawyers," and got to sit over there in where all the counsels sit, the jury side, the jury seats. So, you know, at 18 years old, I had to really like fake it till you make it, right? And like with the 2 pen on the suit and the tie had to be correct, and learn to fit in quickly and learn to win the hearts of all of the doctors of law in the courtroom. Then I served all areas of medicine, all areas of law. Eventually, it spread out to family law, civil law, criminal law. And then in medicine, neurology, cardiology, women's health, men's health, orthopedics. So I get to see all sorts of suffering and actually not knowing how to deal with it. It was really scary. I broke down many times. Very suicidal, actually. You can only imagine an 18-year-old that does not know how to deal with death, grief. I mean, you know, birth, old age, death, disease, decay. And then having to bury some of my clients and patients, literally, you know, going there because they have no one. As an interpreter, they call you and they're like, "Can you come? The police are here. He's dead." So I would show up and I would be like, oh my God, there's a white tarp over someone's body. And then there's no family, so I had to sign paperwork and eventually cremate them, and then eventually grab the ashes and then send it back to Vietnam. So yeah, and remain strong and during the process, so that, can you imagine if I broke down and there would be what's happening here? He's a provider. He's a very young provider, but he's a provider. So it all came together. All of the causes and conditions came together when I became a monk when my grandmother passed away, followed by my best friend Jacob Hall. So when they passed away, I hit very deep rock bottom. It was not just their deaths, but the collective deaths that I've experienced in my life that just went down into my heart. It just shattered my heart into pieces, because I just didn't know how to deal with it. So I decided that, well, I was I was going to be dead or probably in prison if I didn't ordain. So I took the path to peace just to see if it was going to be, if it's going to work out, to learn the skills, to learn 84,000 teachings the Buddha left us. And that I did. So reflecting back on my life, I realized I had a very serious job. Until this present day, I'm still active in all of the arenas in order to keep my programs going. I teach for free, consistent with this tradition. And at times we struggle. So there are amendments to the rules. And I have used those amendments to support my own cause. I guess I'm my biggest fan. So I have to go back to it. And the only time we get to be laughed, to be kids again, is when I'm with these young men and to take them places, to have a well-balanced life, to learn, to study, to have fun, a mixture of joy, a mixture of seriousness, a mixture of knowing when it's down to business, right? Isn't that life? Isn't that life where we are happy one second and the next second we're in sorrow? The vicissitudes of life, how it's up and down, and we're just trying to make sense of it. To watch and monitor closely whether the sadness stays for a long time, or it gets better, or it kind of get worse. The Buddha teaches us that not all things are permanent in this life. Indeed, the state of mind comes as it goes. Happiness and sorrow, but whatever it is, it doesn't last forever. That's why we're here. And that is how you got here today. And it's important not to act on those feelings and emotions in the moment, especially impulse buys. Aren't we all guilty of that? Damn it, I want that chocolate. Or that shoe. It's important to observe it, make sense of it, and go through it effectively. And that's what meditation does. Meditation helps you to analyze what's happening within. What is my state of mind? What is the state of my emotions in the present moment? To look at it like traffic, like a bunch of cars passing by. To not attach on to certain cars. Oh, I don't like it because it's a 350Z. Oh, I don't like it because it's BMW. Oh, I don't like certain drivers. We get ourselves in trouble when we attach on to things. People, places, things, emotions, and thoughts. So when we meditate, which we will today as an introduction to all of you, I just want everyone to just observe your thoughts. When we try to quiet the mind, it's tough. It wants to pull you backwards and it wants to pull you forward. Backwards, recycling of the past. Forward, apprehension of the future. Oh, I gotta pay bills. Oh, I forgot to take out the trash. Oh, what I gotta do after this? So when we reflect, the only moment is now, here. How grateful we are to have opened both eyes this morning. In good health, as good as it's ever going to get, to be able to breathe, to enjoy fresh air, to be in unity and to gather, the joy of gathering in a big group like this. To learn and hear the message of peace, and to learn the how. Dear Venerable, there are things that disturb my heart. Dear Venerable, there are things that I am moved by in life. How do I get past it? How do I live life skillfully? And today is that start. It is a start, and based on your curiosity and your willpower as the human that you are, I've left you all a library of teachings on YouTube. Library. That meant, perhaps 1,500 videos to go through. I believe 600 alone on YouTube. So the other 1,500 perhaps on Facebook. If you search diligently enough, you will have a comprehensive view and understanding. But I left you all the how. I gave you all one of the biggest and most precious gift that excels all other gifts in the world. Say you want to go fishing, say you want to go hiking and camping and cooking, I can teach you that. A lot of people can teach you that. But in regards to how can I be truly at peace with myself, it's one of the hardest things to teach, one of the hardest things to attain, long-lasting change, but yet possible. And hopefully I inspire all of you buying through my own change over the past 8 years with 21 years of studies and practice before that. And hopefully novicely experiences that as long as you are in robes, as long as you want to be in robes. Because if it doesn't work out, all you have to do is tell one other and you can become a free man again. So as we sit and we meditate today, the start of the how to be at peace, we focus on the abdomen, this little belly. This little belly is instrumental to the answers to peace. The tool that's needed, no different. This right here, no different than the sphygmometer, whatever that thing is, when they take your blood pressure. When the nurse is trying to see 150 over 80, right? They're gauging you. This right here, no different than a stethoscope. So in Buddhism, we rely on the rising and falling of the abdomen to stay in the present moment. When we take our deep breaths, we realize that the rising of the abdomen and the falling of the abdomen, we see the natural pleasure of the breath. And then we see the suffering of the breath, which ties into the joys and sorrows of life, the pleasure and pain of life. You can connect the breath with suffering in life. So there's a lot of cues and clues in the breath that they don't tell you. Everyone tries out meditation and it's like, oh yeah, just count or just do this. But you're only treating the symptoms, not the cause. The Buddha taught 3 things, the 3 marks of existence in life. One should never forget these 3 things. In life, it is impermanent. In life, it is subject to change. And rarely is it under your control. Anicca, dukkha, anatta. Impermanence, suffering, and the non-self. But impermanence lies in the breath. It comes and it goes. It comes and it goes. Like the waves in the ocean. Waves come and like, that's a really nice wave. Then it disappears. Dang it. Every surfer can tell you that. That was a nice wave I wanted to catch. Or I caught it. And there was never a wave like that ever again. How the waves changes in life. Subject to change. The one job that we wanted to last for a long time, but it didn't last. The one guy in our life we wanted to keep. The one girl we thought were going to stick around for a long time. And how it did not, it just wasn't how we expected. Subject to change. Not a lot of people do well with change. Changing up the weather. Ma, it's not sunny today, Ma. Right? A lot of people throw a fit. How about the temperature of the air in this room? Brenda, it's hot, Changes leads to preference. Preference leads to change. The less preference we have in life, the more we are at peace. True or false? Oh. I prefer it be 70 degrees in this car. I want. I want. And how that causes us peace, the want, the preference. Damn it, girl, they ain't got my shoes up in here. What you gotta order that? What, they could be here in 3 days? My favorite toothpaste, my favorite perfume. But isn't it the little things in life that takes us off? What about the magazine? They play paintball and airsoft. They're interchangeable. So you know the little magazine that goes inside of a gun. Yeah, he's like, ugh, it doesn't feed right. It throws a fit. He's adorable, by the way. We love him. The little kid inside of us, right? But we all have it. I'm 35. Sometimes I have it too. See the looks I give them? You don't need to subscribe to HBO. You just need to subscribe to Venerable Jidao. Oh, Lord, the screen went off. See? Changes and permanence. And what is the non-self? What do I mean when it's rarely under our control? A lot of things are rarely under your control. Do you have control over your body?
No.
Give me some examples. Breath?
Peeing.
You're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
When it gets sick and you will it not to get sick, I got to be in Sunday session today. I don't want it to get sick. You will yourself and it doesn't listen. But we treat it so well, don't it? We give it steak, filet mignon, Atlantic wild caught salmon, Publix snow crabs. We lather up the skin with lotion, CeraVe, maybe it's Maybelline, CoverGirl. Yes. Billions of dollars in dermatology, right? We're so good to this body, but yet we can't will it to do what it wants to do. So one must ask, what is it really yours? Is your house really yours? What could change with our house? In Vietnam, back in the day, you know, the communist days, it's still communist now, they could just take your house. On paper, it's like it's yours, it's my house. My house in Italy. Come to Italy. But yet it can be gone. Conventional meaning and attachment to it, and the unconventional aspect of it. So when we take a minute to really reflect what is really ours, my body, not really. My mind, me, mine, I. So therefore in life, always remember, I'm teaching you all to be the referee in life. The referee in life. Every one of you here is a leader. You are the referee. You are mama and you are papa. And that means when the mind is tripping, when this thing gets out of control, you need to do this. And the 5 little puppies in the mind goes, uh-oh, she means business. You mess with your mind, not the other way around. Everything is preceded by the mind. Heaven or hell lies here, always. And you can tame it with the breath. Because when the breath slows down the mind, and when the mind slows down, you can see things more clearly. Let's give an example. When we go shopping, impulse buy, it's too quick. We look at it, it makes us feel a certain way. I gotta have it. Then you have it. Then you walk away. You walk away regretful. Ding, you got a message in your phone. Your account's under $100. See, you got to be a skillful teacher. And when I'm with novice and these little young folks right here, yeah, I'm watching your phones. I know when you're spending foolishly. I know a lot of things. And I just pretend like I don't. To measure them. It's like a scientific experiment. We have to measure them to know who they are, how they spend, how they act a fool, how they vape, how many puff you take in one day. I notice. Not only do I have to be mindful of myself, my own feelings and thoughts, I have to be mindful of the little students inside. Mm-hmm. So the teacher tells you, if you're moved by it, walk away, walk to the next door. Walk away, give it 15 minutes and tell me if you still want that item. Walk away 10, 15 minutes and question yourself. If you're stuck with this item, and if you were to sell it, can you get the same amount that you just paid for? Equal or greater or less? If you had no money tomorrow, if the bank depletes, can you sell the item that you just got for $500? Can you get 500 out of it? Or truly 150 at the pawn shop? Now, obviously, it's experts in pawn shops. Right? So, if I could summarize one word out of 84,000 teachings, if y'all were to ask me, Venerable, summarize one word out of 84,000 teachings, 45 years of his teachings. Jesus taught for 3 years, 1 Bible. Buddha, 45 years, 45 Bibles. I would tell you all one word, and that is mindfulness. It cures all things. Mindful of habits, mindful of our thoughts and feelings, and how it leads to those type of behaviors. How about the one night stands? Well, it should be 3 of us, right? 1, 2, and 3, right? So I don't exempt from that. We all done it. We all done it. You know what I mean? So we all done it. It's like, damn, she hot. What's up, girl? You down, I'm down. Let's do this. And how we, and when I say we, so no one feels left out, and how we equated that for love. How we equated sex for love. All the impulses, the decisions we made that led to regrets. But it's okay. Doesn't matter. In Buddhism, you're born again, moment to moment. Birth of a thought, death of a thought. Birth of an emotion, death of that emotion. The concept of born again Christian, the concept of born again Buddhist, same thing. No matter how much mistakes you've made, you became wiser. You learn. You have to make mistakes to become wiser. You can't just be born and all of a sudden become a Buddha. And for all the mistakes that the Buddha had made, Lord, goodness, he's made. The many girls that was in his room, Lord knows. Oh, he done partied. Oh, he done partied. And his dad made sure he partied to the max. shielded him from everything. So even the Buddha makes mistakes, realizes mistakes, see it clearly for himself. And that's what's great about Buddhism. Is that it's chill. There's no such thing as a sin. There's no concept of a sin, right? There's a concept of wholesomeness and unwholesomeness. There's the concept of skillfully and unskillfully. How we unskillfully have made purchases, and now we will make purchases more skillfully, more intelligently, well trained. Well trained. In essence, I make all of you become your own doctors and lawyers too. Because lawyers and doctors have to be well trained, well disciplined. We trust them, right? But do we trust ourselves? I mean, sometimes we can trust. I mean, most of them, if they're board certified, they should be trusted. Right? Board certified. Board certified. They know their stuff. They have control over a body of knowledge. We use our eyes and ears to measure and see if they're ethical and moral. If they're fit for the job, if they're in the right state of mind, if they're listening to us, our pains, if they write the right prescription, if they're explaining law in the way that they should. We trust everybody else, but do we trust ourselves? So thus, in essence, I teach you all to be your own referee, your own lawyer, and your own doctor. Those who are not their own doctor is a fool. Dr. Gabrielle, Dr. Lee, Dr. Brenda. One must be a spiritual doctor within oneself. Do not take care of your mind and body. Any questions so far? Everything makes sense so far. What I'm doing here is giving you an overview, because we have new people, an overview of Buddhism. And it's very simple, actually. Divided into three things. The first fold training is the precept, which is morality. The gift of safety we give to you give to yourself and you give to other people. So taking the precept of no killing, no lying, no stealing, refrain from sexual misconduct, refrain from intoxicating substance. We can see how all of those. Come on in, Julius. Got a seat over here for you. This is my longest Project Julius, of 5 years. My pride and joy. He's now full capacity working student making more than $70,000 a year at how old?
23.
23.
Oh my God.
Yeah, make sure you write a check 5,000 after today. Oh, it's okay.
Oh,
It does that.
okay.
How's your morning, Julius?
Good.
You're late.
I know I woke up late.
Woke up late. Did she keep you up late?
No.
No. Was it the beers and booze?
Right. No, too much.
Too much?
No, I'm kidding.
No kidding. Half kidding, half not. It's great being in his class. Ooh. So the precepts, the 5 precepts, is a gift to yourself and a gift to other people. You won't, I promise I won't kill anything. I promise I won't take anything that's not given to me. I promise not to lie to you. We can see how all of this play out into the details of people's lives, how they get themselves into trouble, the lies in the families, the lies that people, they just overinflate and blow things out of proportion. Yes, Karen. Okay, right. So that doesn't happen the way that you said it, right? Okay. Right speech is it true? Is it necessary? Is the timing of this speech correct? Is it beneficial for all parties? It must go through those 4 filters for right speech to take place. You do that, your life's golden. Be careful what you say around others and take care of your own thoughts when you're alone. Intoxicating substance leads to foolishness. We all know that. You get a little too drunk. That courage, right? Budweiser. So you can't think clearly when you're drunk. Matter of fact, we monks can drink, but not to the point where we have no idea what planet, stars, and moon we're at.
Yeah. Crazy.
Okay, but we don't touch it. I've never touched it. Have you ever seen me touch anything? It's always what? Or
Sweet tea.
sweet tea. Now you know how mindful I put in my body when I put in my body, right? And when I tasted that cake yesterday, I said what?
Oh, no.
Hell
Yeah.
no, right? Lots of sugar in that thing. But that's how you know, right? That's how you know he practices, right? When no one's watching, when he's with his intimate, close students, and he can get away with things, right? And he doesn't do it. When they're drinking Stella and he doesn't say, me too. When they indulge in that chocolate cake, my God, that cake. And he doesn't take another bite. You see that, right? Self-restraint. That's how you know. Self-restraint. These students are living examples and living proof of how the teacher must walk the talk and not just especially when no one's watching. And I can change my robe colors too. I can go dark. I can go all dark brown. You can't even see me. I just see the arms sticking out though. But then I can like do this and no one can see that I'm a monk. And I'd be like, yeah, it's my Halloween costume. Halloween costume. Peekaboo. Imagine that in your hallway, right? Imagine this showing up at your door. Ding dong. Yeah, Amazon package.
Just leave it by the door.
Oh no. You come sign for this package. You come right now for this one.
It doesn't say I have to slide. No.
Everyone ran away from TikTok. They're like, oh no, we don't want no part of this.
Oh.
This is a different kind of Sunday session. So we take the precept because by then you can leave a diamond ring here, you can leave anything here and realize it's bad karma. You take it from somebody, you take something that's not given to you, trust me, something will go missing in your life. Can't find your keys, wallet, phones, something go missing. Karma just works in that way. Okay? Direct observation and evidence. You take the precept, then everyone feels safe. A Buddhist monastery or a Buddhist nation, they feel very safe with each other. They know they're not going to kill each other, not going to steal things, not going to lie to each other. And they know they have that code of conduct that they follow. And they realize, all right, are you sure, Susan? Are you sure that was the story? Are you sure that's what he done did to you? Are you sure that's what she had done said? Did she really cheated on you? All right, well, I believe you. I truly do. I sincerely do. Then, so that's Sila, and then we go to Bhavana, which is the cultivation of the heart in meditation. You can't meditate if you don't keep the precept. You don't keep the precept, you'll be sleeping with one eye open, right? You cheat, lie, kill, and steal, you're going to sleep with one eye open. You're like, shoot, when's karma going to come get me? Or the police knocking on my door. So when we we take the precept, we sit in silence, and we observe. Things become more clear, less drama, especially the drama. Less drama in one's life leads to clarity in one's life. You know, when you don't have noises, you don't have friends blowing up your phone. Hey, girls, do this. Nights out, boys' nights out, girls' nights out. Ybor City, International Mall. Now you have time to sit there and review and do a life review, no matter where you're at. At any point and stage in your life, you know, be like, what? Good, better, best. Never let it rest until your good is better and better is best. What can I improve? Can I save more money? Can I give more and take less? Can I let more things go in my life? The examination of what am I attached to? Have I grown more attached to something? Declutter.
Decluttering.
Right.
I do a lot of that.
Look at that, just paying attention.
I'm working on it.
She barely want to get out of bed this morning. It's all right, but you're luminous. Your mind is very luminous. In Buddhism, less is more. The less stuff you have in your life, on your mind, on your shelf, you get more out of life. More joy. You start to see the miracles in life, like the trees and the sun and the sunsets. There's less material things, less drama, less human problems. And you see that Mother Nature was ready. She's been ready to teach you all. To stop and smell the roses, truly. The teachings in the tree, of that tree, the teachings in the leaves, the teaching of the fragrance of the roses. Stop and smell the roses. And so we miss these things, right? We really, truly do. We miss these things. But what wakes us up? Now, you all knew that I was an interpreter in the courtroom.
And that's amazing.
Right. Oh, yeah.
No, I think it is, because I wanted to become an interpreter for the deaf and hard of hearing. And although that didn't happen, when you started talking about that, that just is just, wow. It's awesome.
And in the medical field, I get to see death and dying.
I mean, that's tough. Yeah.
But the one thing I learned on that bed, though, on that stretcher, though, is like, damn, I'm stuck in this room. The patient's mentality, I can't leave this room. I have an IV in me. I have certain medicine that's going inside of me. I can't leave this room. I can't. The sunset's right there at the window. Morton Plant, Clearwater, like that. I can't even see the sun setting. The water's right there at the window. I can't get up. The natural air that we breathe right out here in the peninsula, Pinellas County Peninsula, and yet, we don't even take the time to absorb the fresh air, what the peninsula has to offer in places of air pollution. So that's what gratefulness is. Gratefulness is having all these things that we already got, and we just don't know how to tap into it. The mysteries of gratefulness, the mysteries of enjoyment. And if you're in love at this time, enjoying your partner. The art of loving. The art of that kiss this morning. How comforting to love. Yeah, you love them, I get it. But do you say enough of it? Gets deep. It's deep and profound. We love them when we say enough of it. So, Buddhism is about that. It's about looking at the quality of life, the quality of loving, the quality of interactions with other humans. So that is the cultivation of the heart. When we sit and we meditate and we realize, wow, preciousness of the breath, preciousness of the air, preciousness of life, see suffering. So what's the deal with the suffering thing, right? When we see suffering in ourselves, we see suffering in other people. So then compassion arises. We have compassion. And with compassion, we become less judgmental, more acceptance. Then a smile start to grow at the stranger on the corner of our house, the stranger at the gas station. We realize, wow, he done woke up with back pain just like I did this morning. So let me crack a joke and let me ask them how they're doing. And when the next person asks you something, we change. We realize they too woke up with back pain this morning. So in what ways can I assist you? In what ways can I help? How can I be of assistance to you? Because that's what the Lord would want. That's what Buddha would want. Remember when Jesus washed disciples' feet? We watch the Pope do that. We also watch cardinals do that. Take off their red, down on their knees, they wash the parishioners, everyone at the church's feet to be of service. Monks serve the poor. And we change, and how beautiful that is to reflect at the end of the day how I was of service today, doing God's work, proud of giving more and taking less. To be different. Every one of you here in this room could be different than those that we see in society. And out of 10 bad news, there's always one good news. TBO.com, WTSP, Channel 10, Bay News 9, right? We always see that one in there that's like, wow, what a good heart. But do you see the statistics in that? How they all take. And the one that actually truly give with a pure heart, expecting nothing in return. And to realize that each of you can be that. Need not be when the camera's rolling, and need not be someone discovering the true angel that you actually really are. And in the moments when no one is watching, to give and to be nice and to be kind. And just reap the joy at night. When you go to bed at night, just reap that joy and be like, you know what? I made 5 strangers smile today. I hold the door 3 times. I yielded in traffic. He wanted to get over. I let him over. He probably had to go to the restroom. Remember that peeing thing?
Yeah.
Gots to pee, girl. Right?
Yep.
And yeah, it's like, yeah, I did something right. At all, anything, if I felt, we beat ourselves up at night. When I do wrong, when nothing's right in my life, no one loves me. I get it. I get it. I'm teaching you all. Rewrite the narrative. Buying through action. Not just words, buying through action. My students who are with me, and you will be glad to know, when he's with me, they all give some examples how I treat others out there. Always messing with people.
Always messing with people, making people laugh, just joyful all the time.
You see that, right, Mr. Julius? You would testify in Congress? It's the start. And yeah, is it taxing? No, not really. You mess with people, you get the smile. That's it. Free. Don't cost nothing for smile. And the joy of interaction. COVID did a number on us. The U.S. is trying to do something to everybody. Pull you apart from each other. To be suspicious of each other. To be private. To be alone. To be lonely. And die of loneliness. No sense of community. And where there is community, there's shootings. Fear of it. Think about it. They're all trying to pull you apart from each other. They try to pull you away from each other, and they try to pull you away from me. Or any holy man that sits here. The secular world. But I'm here to tell you, you can live a better life. You can live the good life. Good life equals a good death. Reconnect. Give and share. Did you know your brother gives more and take less? Do you enjoy giving? Do you feel good?
Yeah.
Do you want it back? No? You see the joy you brought to his face? They won't split the cost. Huh? But do you see the joy in his face, though, when you guys split the cost, huh?
Yeah.
But sharing, right? It's about sharing, right? They work it out. They're really smart with their money. And they enjoy the sports together. I swear, I'm not a father. I don't have any biological kids that I know of. Miss Brenda, call DCF and find out for me. So I can make this joke because I am a judicial officer. I'm an officer of the courts in good moral standing and good ethical conduct. If not, y'all be like, oh no, we gotta run the FBI background check on him. But yeah, it brings me great joy, really, really happiness all around to see you all enjoy yourselves and to practice giving, because that's one thing that people don't do, is give. Then the third fold training, Sila, Samadhi, cultivation of the hearts, No drama, slows everything down. Focus on the breath. Practice that. Clarity, gratefulness, joy, jubilance, abundance of it. Then it leads to panya, which is wisdom. Now that you have lived, you have practiced, you have studied, you have practiced, now you're becoming wiser. A wise woman. What a wise woman she is. And the wisdom that she can dispense right now. It is wisdom that I seek in you. You know, all of you, when I'm seeing all of you in here, all of you have the capacity to be that wise person. Right? And the wise don't chill with fools. We've already known that, right? We've already lived. Miss Brenda's got stories, you got books to publish. The many fools that you've seen in your life, the foolish things that people do, just look at traffic.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Foolishness in airsoft, the cheating in the games, right? The dishonest is a game of honor. Look at the dishonesty. Makes you think, right? Makes you think if they were Buddhists, they would call their hits. So I have to use these analogies to relate to them so they know deep down, they know, just like the shopping thing. Yeah, it hits hard, like, oh, damn. I feel seen, Venerable. Damn, you gonna put me out like that? Oh, Buddhism. It is that wisdom that everyone will seek. They will come knocking on your door, no matter who you are, no matter what you're wearing, what you're dressing, how you sit. When that wisdom start to glow, other people will see, oh, that is one enlightened woman. Maybe not be the definition of our enlightenment, but damn, she looks, something about her I gotta ask. Something about him that I gotta ask. The tender, the sweetness, the noble silence you hold. Private, but a beautiful type of private and silence that they hold. Something they hold dearly, an answer that I'm seeking for. When you practice right and when you do this right, I'm teaching you all the how, telling you the many joys in your life when they come and seek for guidance and advice. And because you give that guidance and advice based on your practice, you now given the gift that excels all other gifts, the gifts of the Dhamma. You're teaching them how to live skillfully. The wise teaches other people how to live wisely. And that amounts to a great death. Eventually, we can't walk anymore. Hip replacement, knee replacement. Eventually, our organs will start to decline. But the one thing left remaining is our mind. And if you lived a good life, you can relive it again when you're older. And to realize that I left them a whole library of gifts to now practice on. How about just these two things alone? To forgive and ask for forgiveness. Goodness, how many people need that? That's what church is about every Sunday. To forgive and ask for forgiveness. All in one day and all in 1 week, that could happen. All in 1 week. Have you forgiven yourself? So let us stretch for a second. I know everyone's, so let us stretch for 2 seconds. I run in the restroom because, and then we will practice meditation. We'll give a 5-minute meditation intro. We'll experience.
Do you guys come here every Sunday?
I try to.
But it is a thing every Sunday?
Yeah. I missed last Sunday. That's the first one I missed in a month.
This is my first one. Is it? Yeah. Oh, so we are a lot of new people coming. Yeah. Are you new too, or you've been?
Yeah,
here
Brenda
longer?
told me about it yesterday. I
Oh,
went
that's
to
what you said.
BT session with parents.
She told me about it
And then I
last
told her
night.
about it last night, and then I was really tired. And she said she was just so.
Oh,
I can't.
It was probably the Reiki.
Yeah,
brings up a lot of stuff. Is
lot
that the
of
first time that you've done it?
That's fine.
Yeah,
It's
because I've
a
done
process.
like massage and a little bit of
I'm
Reiki,
tired
but
from
never just
yesterday.
Reiki. I mean, in the group
Uh-huh.
on Mondays,
Oh,
I've
right.
done stuff,
Okay.
where she has it here and a couple
Yeah.
other places,
I've
I've done that. That's
Actually, last Monday was my first experience giving Reiki, not just receiving.
Oh, wow.
I feel like I've seen you there, I saw a few, I don't know.
I've been going for like,
I'll go Monday, I went Thursday, sorry.
yeah, it was a small, really surprisingly small group. But,
I haven't gone to any of the other locations. I want to, like I want to go and see the peacocks.
that one has a really great energy. And there's always a lot of people.
TikTok, I'm gonna Activate it real quick, so y'all join in like one
Yeah, I
second,
still
okay?
wanna
I gotta
go.
reactivate.
And then you have the
Join again.
visuals and then
Yeah.
the peacocks serenade.
Yeah, we went to their meditation. They do meditation every other Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
And we sat out on the water on this deck.
Oh, what is
There
it?
were 20 people at Sacred Land.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And that was amazing too, the birds.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. That's every other Wednesday at 7.
Oh,
How far did you come from?
oh, I live in St. Pete, kind of close to the Southwest Highway. Right next to it, all the two apartments are coming up. So it's not too bad.
Yeah. Had you
You hear this? It's beautifully chanted. Any questions so far? You're excited?
Yeah, I love it.
You love it?
Yeah.
It gets better. I'm gonna switch mode from mindfulness of the breath to loving kindness meditation. It's really awesome. Found the secret. Keep the mind engaging in the rapture, evoking rapture. We teachers get more skillful as we teach meditation and we track the mind. That's the scientific study of the mind during silence. And I did an experiment with Austin and Steven and Austin, my best friend who's never meditated before. When I did, it was recorded live. It's actually on the YouTube. And when I switched mode, and he said, after he was done, he said, "Oh my God, it should be a law that everyone have to meditate." He was hooked. And I realized, like, oh, we'll do that in that sequential order, in that particular sequential order. Okay. So, so but during the meditation, again, we're doing something that the mind doesn't want to do. So therefore, it's natural for your mind to jump forward or backward. And I would just like everyone to just focus on your breath as much as possible. I'm going to guide you, and then I'm going to give you a couple minutes, and then I'm going to switch mode to loving kindness meditation with loving kindness music. And it is to calm your mind, and it is to evoke rapture and supreme joy and happiness within. However, what should you not do during meditation is force the breath. Don't force the in breath or the out breath. Just let it flow. Again, just the natural rhythm of your breath. Don't catch on to any thoughts that arises. And when things get too intense in your mind, you just grab onto your tummy and just realize the rising and falling of the abdomen. You're like, I'm here. I'm safe. I'm just here chilling. Keep chilling. I do that with little kids when they, of course, their mind's all over the place, ADHD. So I tell them that when things, get too out of control, and I tell them to focus on like their favorite color. The mindfulness of the breath is a one-pointed concentration technique where you can choose your favorite color, blue, blue, blue. But we want to stay on that. We usually use the in-breath and the out-breath as the object of meditation because there's nothing exciting about it. It's good balance. You can notice the in-breath, the out-breath, the rate and rhythm of your breath. Today, you will learn much about your breath and to be the scientist of the breath. Now, a lot of people analyze the temperature of the room, analyzing the temperature of the air that you breathe through your nostrils. So you can try that too. And that's like, gives you a whole different perspective and develops a different relationship between you and the breath, you and your own breath. The breath is also important that number one, it also predicts at the moment of death also. Hospice, the purple team, they pay really close attention to you, the way how a patient is breathing. And when they're at risk of imminent death, the breathing changes rapidly.
Yeah.
So therefore, in Buddhism, we assert that by controlling your breath, you can become a saint at the moment of death if you let everything go. Let go of mom, pops, let go of everything, the diamond ring, Rolls Royce, BMW. Let everything go at the moment of death on your last breath, and you will no longer take rebirth in this lifetime. You think back pain's bad? Don't come back. Like me or don't like me? Don't come back. Don't come back. So our goal in Buddhism is not to come back. Okay, not become an arahant. And how beautiful it is that you can time your death by being mindful of your breath. You can actually time your death. You know when you're about to go. All the senses start to go. The hearing becomes further, further. Louder, further. Your senses start to go. become blurry in the eyes, kind of like, propofol coming into your veins, anesthesia. Just like, oh, well. That's beautiful, right? Because everyone fears death, right? When am I going to die? How am I going to die? When? It's the when that we're like, oh, dang it. So I'm teaching you all some of the most potent medicine in Buddhism to achieve peace. And once you master this on a regular basis, you just know when something's wrong with the body. Each breath brings you closer to death. Inevitably, it just is. But mastering that art, one knows when I need to start concluding some business in life. Wrap it up. The last will and testament, wrap it up. You will know when your organs start to fail, and it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. We know the how. We have the how. If we don't have the how, you all would be in grave fear. If Buddhism didn't have the how, you'd be in trouble. Keep praying, because you just don't know the when. But the fact that when you refine this practice and you just know that I have a week left, a month left, I'm slowing down. It's beautiful. Ajahn Mun, a fully enlightened being at the moment of his death, told his student, bring me my Sangati, take me to the Buddha. He was hit with malaria, and on his third prostration to the Buddha, all of his students bowed with him. And on the third prostration, he did not get back up. And they realized that their teacher had become a fully enlightened being because he timed his death literally to the last second of the last prostration. And I have no doubt you all can master this. Mind you all, before sitting here and dispensing all of this medicine to you all, one has to be authentic, qualifying, and experienced teacher. One who has mastered meditation for 21 years, samadhi for 15 years, and 6 years of vipassana to understand one's breath, the shallowness, the short, the long breath. So now, I help you all to establish and cultivate that new relationship now with the biological clock. And you become limitless. I mean, once you know the how and you practice it, you trust the teacher in the process. Not just me, that's the teacher, but the great teacher, our Lord Buddha himself. You will realize that I got the tools that I need to conquer this life. I come, I conquer, and I will leave victoriously. So, before we start, any questions on instructions for meditation? No? In this moment, everyone will sit in your favorite positions, either in the lotus position or in a chair, or even lying down. All is permissible and all is well. In this moment, knowing that your back is straight, your shoulders relaxed, relaxing all of the muscles on your face. Bring to mind a small smile. A smile, we greet one another. A smile to ourselves. As I meet you with a smile, you meet others. Let us take our first 3 deep breaths. Let us feel the in-breath. Let us feel the air of the in-breath. Let us feel the rising of the abdomen. Let us feel the exhale of the abdomen. Breathing in, you know you're breathing in. Breathing out, you know you're breathing out. In this moment, you are alive. In this moment is nirvana. In this moment, the here and the now. Peace with every breath you take. Let us learn to let go with every exhale. Let us let go with acquired negative emotions. Let us let go of negative acquired bad habits. Let us inhale a new beauty within. Let us take 2 deep breaths. Let us inhale wisdom. Let us let go of everything. Let us inhale joy. Let us inhale strength. Breathing in, you know you're breathing in. Breathing out, you know you're breathing out. Let us analyze the temperature of the air in this room through your nostrils. Let us guess, is it 70 degrees? Perhaps 75? Breathing in, you know you're breathing in. A Buddha is one which knows. He knows when the breath is long. He knows when the breath is short. Let us now move to loving kindness. You all repeat after me. May I be well. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I be free from physical suffering. May I be free from mental suffering. May all my wishes be fulfilled. Let us be aware of our back straight, shoulder relaxed. Let us bring a small smile to our face. Let us repeat, may you be well. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be free from mental suffering. May you be free from physical suffering. May you keep your heart open so love can find its way in. May all your wishes be fulfilled. Let us radiate this loving kindness to the whole world. Let us repeat, May all beings be well. May all beings be happy. Let us smile for a moment and reflect on all beings in the world, the suffering of the world, the wars, the turmoil, the injustice, the children, the mothers, the fathers who are mourning the loss. Let us radiate this loving kindness for all beings, animals, creatures, mammals, humans. All beings want to be happy, a life free from enmity and danger. May our good intentions radiate this loving kindness to all that is in need around the world. Let us repeat. May all beings be free from mental suffering. May all beings be free from physical suffering. May all beings realize enlightenment. May all beings reach the other shore. May all beings be kind to one another. May all beings remain open. So love can find its way in. Let us take our last 3 deep breaths. You may now relax your concentration and slowly arise from your meditation. Bringing your awareness back to the sound of my voice. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. So some feedbacks. Oh, tell me how that went, because I have never done that. I have never done it that slow.
That was
But the majority of women in here prompts me to go slow. And less clinical and more gentle of that, because that's obviously not the way how we were trained. So, so I just like to hear some feedbacks. Again, it's an experiment. Always is.
I think it was amazing. I just felt more open when I opened my eyes. I felt really good.
Music, the words,
Yeah.
colors.
The angelic voice.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, too.
Oh, yeah.
All in the voice.
Yeah, but that's very good.
Good.
Really at peace.
But you must learn to do this on your own when I'm not around. The teacher makes it pleasant, sure. But you have to stick with the teacher for a couple of years to slowly know how to redirect the mind direct and redirect the mind when it steers you a certain way. It will steer you. It always does. You have to be a 4-star general. You gotta be big mama. You gotta be mama in the house and get my stick. Unfortunately, there is a lot of, as beautiful as the mind can be, never underestimate its violent nature. There's a lot of violence in the mind. That's why we have wars. Now, truly, I have to credit Brenda and Rick. For what? You didn't know this. But when we showed up to your sound bath, how gentle Rick is. Isn't he such a gentle man? He truly is a gentle man. And you know what? That reminded me to be more gentler. Yeah, truly. The Theravadan tradition is strict and sometimes not gentle. Trust me. As evidenced, right? Obviously. And so it actually reminded me to be more beautiful, to be more gentle, a little bit more gentler to my students and to the practice and in the guided meditations. So difficult to tame the mind of young students. Difficult to tame one's mind, period. But you all inspired me through your gentleness because you all have obviously lived longer than I have, more skills than I have, more coping skills, and a teacher I see both of you considered a teacher. And it's important that you all stay connected to one another to inspire by and through your own change, by and through your own peace, the radiating peace that you all possess, hold, and can expound at any time. And you can expound that peace with your intention. Walking into a room filled with strangers. May I see the light in you. I recognize the lights and love in you. And may my light recognizes the light in you. May my peace recognize the peace in you. And then you grow to like one another. You grow to be more welcoming. You grow to be more vulnerable. You grow to be more open to one another. And how beautiful that is to have 2, 4, 6, 9, 10, 10 humans to go out in the world and to greet strangers in this way. The loving kindness meditation is particularly extremely effective long before science came along. So when you're not good to yourself, you wish yourself, may I be well, may I be happy. When you beat up yourself, may I be free from mental suffering. May I be free from physical suffering. And any one of you can go on YouTube and put chant of metta. And here's the English version of it. It's guided. So when I'm not around, you all can experience this part of it. So let us just take a minute to just enjoy this music. Just bring our deep listening skills towards the music.
May I be free from enmity and danger. May I be free from mental suffering. May I be free from physical suffering. May I take care of myself happily. May my parents, teachers, relatives, fellow Gamma Ferris. Be free from enmity and danger. Be free from mental suffering. Be free from physical suffering. May they take care of themselves happily. May all yogis in this compound be free from enmity and danger.
So you all see how calm it is.
Be free from physical suffering. May they take care of themselves.
If there was ever a perpetual reoccurring type of medicine for your heart, the nurturing, literal nurturing of one's heart, the fire that's in your heart, and the type of water that is needed to cool down that heart would be this music, would be the chant of metta. From direct self-inquiry within my own heart, with direct experience within my own anger, before becoming a monk, this was the music that I listened to for 10 consecutive years to retrain my brain, the angry brain, to retrain my heart, to not hold that grudge. And I have found that this particular music necessary for the mind to be convinced, for you to be kind to yourself and to be kind to other people, which is the two hardest thing ever to do. People ask, do monks have special powers? Can you actually levitate, Venerable? Well, I don't know, let's see. I'm just kidding. But isn't that two supernatural powers that you can cultivate within yourself, which is the ability to be kind to yourself? Is a supernatural power itself, and to be kind to other strangers. That is supernatural power to me. Dear Venerable, does a God exist in Buddhism? Ever thought of yourself as the gods that you are and the gods that you can be? Just grab a 38, you can be a god. Or to be the one God of loving kindness, of beauty and strength. So much power you all have. Power, strength, but yet beauty right there within. To inspire your fellow humans as you leave today. So let us wrap up our Sunday session at 11:07, as you all are anxiously waiting to experience the great master, the great Reiki master, Miss Brenda. So I will conclude service with a chant and my blessings to all of you. And after that, if you have any questions at the end of class in regards to Buddhism, its effectiveness, its efficacy, the methods, the books, the recommendations, the resources, I'll hang around for a couple minutes. And then you all can steal Miss Brenda from me. Maybe she might just steal you from me. Let us put our hands together, sign of peace. Let us bring to mind how grateful we are today to come together as a group, how much joy that is, the causes and conditions, the universe arranging your time, your schedule, your strength, your energy, your efforts to be here with us, with me, to share with me your precious presence, gracing us with your presence, your eyeballs, your nose, everything about you all unique, special, unique. The beauty inside all of you together in unity and cohesion to share the mutual understanding of love and kindness as humans in an ever-changing, challenging world. Let us radiate that love and kindness. Let us never tire of loving one another. Never tired of loving yourself, never tired of loving other people. Never tired of forgiving yourself, never tired of asking for forgiveness. Never tired of forgiving your neighbors. May all of you leave today, be well, be happy. Always be healthy, taking care of your body and mind, as it is your vehicle for enlightenment. May each of you realize the light of your own true nature. May your heart always remain open to one another. May you lower your walls and love will find its way in. May you seek what you find in life. May you develop samadhi so that you can reap the benefits of meditation, the deep and everlasting peace by and through the breath. May you all achieve nirvana, in Pali, nibbana. May you experience and find nibbana in this lifetime. May you let go of everything at the moment of death. May you become an arahant, a fully enlightened being. May you rejoice in the realm where you will be with other enlightened beings. The Cool Kids Club, the wise, the celestials, the devas, the heavenly realms awaits you. May you be free from enmity and danger. May you be free from mental suffering in this lifetime. May you be free from physical suffering. May you age gracefully. May you live skillfully. May you approach all things with intelligence and wisdom. May you all be healed from your wounds. May you be a great source and significant source of healing to other humans. My blessing to all of you. Yatha varivaha pura paripurenti sakaram evamewa ito dinang katanang upakapati ichitang patitang tamhang kipamewa samejadu sappe purentu sankapa chando Panyaraso yatha manicho tiraso yatha Sabi diyo viwancantu sa paroko vina satuma เตียฝะวันตวันตรายโยสุขีดีหายุโกภวะอภิวาทนาสีเลสนิจจังวุธาปัจจานิโนจตารโรธรรมาวัฏตันติอายุวันโนสุขังพลังอวัตสาปมังกลังรากันตสาปเทวตาสาปพุทธานุภาเวนัสดาโสทีบวันตุเตบวัตสัพพมังกลังรักกันตุสัพพเทวตาสัพพธรรมานุภาเวนัสดาโสทีบวันตุเตบวัตสัพพมังกลังรักกันตุสัพพเทวตาสัพพสังฆานุภาเวนัสดาโสทีบวันตุเต May you all go in peace. Be nice to yourself, be nice to others. Rejoice in the greatest gift, the gift of the Dhamma, the gift of the teachings of the Buddha. May you reflect on the threefold training. May you reflect on the precepts. May you take the precepts within yourself, a promise and gift of safety, not to kill, not to steal, not to lie. Refrain from sexual misconduct. Refrain from intoxicants. May you find the time to priority of peace, to prioritize time to sit and focus on the breath, to be one breath closer to nirvana. May you be curious in Buddhism and dive deep and master this teaching, the greatest teachings of all times. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Service is now concluded. Thank you all for joining us. In the alms bowl to your left is the alms bowl of giving. Monks survive by and through donations from lay people. As you all reflect on giving more and taking less, as you rejoice the memory of giving in your life, the one thing that people can never take away from you, doing nice things for other people, not just with money, but through our thoughts, our speech, our actions, and how we can rejoice that memory later in life. Thank you all for joining this morning. As service concludes, if you have any questions this morning, I'm more than happy to answer them for you.
You nailed it. You nailed it.
Did I?
Yeah.
Where are you? Where are we?
I just took rebirth. It's always a treat when Brenda brings students in or clients in. You just gotta make that one impact. Has to be impactful. Life's too short to not be impactful. Life's too short to not be a skillful teacher or to find an unskillful teacher. It just has to be done a certain way. It has to leave an impression on the heart. Because I know that when the heart is moved, you all will change and not even know that you're changing. It's different, hard to find a good, qualifying, authentic, experienced teacher. And I've announced that I've entered semi-retirement, but it doesn't mean what you all think. Many people have retired fully and then came back to work and retired again about 32 times, like Dr. Watcher at the Eye Associates of Pinellas. So it's meant as a break that I need to train the next emerging monks. Hopefully all of humans reflect and see that it's a joyful work, but very exhaustive. One man can do it by himself, but the question is for how long? But it is by and through the support of the people that he prolongs his training, his teachings, his guidance, and his counsel to all other humans. This is why people revere monks to hold in deep respect in Southeast Asian countries where they bow to monks, because they know that we are the light and hope that is needed in an ever-changing dark world. So I will emerge again from time to time throughout my career as a holy man. But one must know when to take a break. It is the middle way. Too extreme of something, too much water, too much sleep. Too much sleep. Too much sleep. And too lazy of something, not getting out of bed. So when I announced semi-retirement or retirement at this age at 30, going on 36 years old this June, it is the middle way of one's life so that I have enough inner strength, energy, and the preparation of going to Vietnam this November to revitalize, reinvigorate, to bring that strength back and to serve even more the masses of sufferings, because we're in a recession, inflation, whatever. We Buddhists, as you all leave today, focus on the emotional currency of life and not just the dollar bill. It is the emotional currency that brings us great joy and happiness deep within. Again, no one can ever take that from you. Wells Fargo, Chase can go away overnight, depleted, $0. And then it makes you really think a life review of how much you've given. And it's not about giving anything. It's about how nice you were to other people, opening the door. I really like your shirt. I really like your dress. I really like your smile, your hair. How much time you put in your hair, Miss Brenda. And it's exactly that you will bring with you. You will bring all of the merits and deeds. So when I did my blessing, I shared my merits, all of my good deeds in my eight years as a monk, 21 years of meditation, and 18 years of clinical service, flawless clinical service, without ever being audited, to share all of that goodness to all of you so you all have good karma moving forward. So in Buddhism, that's what we thrive on, and not just ever thinking about, oh, $50,000 in the bank, 50,000 merits, the emotional currency and the merit system. But thank you. You all have been wonderful listeners, and hopefully this brings joy and peace one step closer to that as you all get ready to experience Reiki.
Actually, Danielle's doing her level 2 Reiki today.
Very good.
I have an important question.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have a Venmo?
I do. Yes. Yeah. And obviously, it will help you access that.
And I did the math. So if you've been meditating 21 years, you were 14.
Correct. You're correct. Since you all are intrigued, at 14, I received my first traffic ticket. The judge says, you need to do community service. Oh, okay. So I went to the nearby monastery next to Medellin Middle. I did my community service there. And when the monks started chanting, I was like, oh my God, girl, I got to go. And because it was as if I described my last life, I was a monk. There's no way a 14-year-old kid is drawn to a chant that he doesn't understand, a chant that is 2,566 years old in Pali. I was immediately detained by that chant. And I sat there and I studied it was very boring, by the way, but it was very exciting to me. The method was boring. The teacher was not that enthusiastic. It's the way they are. It's the way they are. And the way it is. And I had to learn to adjust to talk about preference. Venerable Bu Phung taught the Butto technique. In breath But, out breath To. Butto means Buddha, one which knows. That's it. So in my guidance with all of you, a Buddha is one which knows. All of you are Buddhas. In the moment, if you know that you're writing or drawing or walking or talking or speaking or breathing, you are in fact a Buddha. But how long does that moment last, right? with practice, you can sustain that longer. So you become a Buddha a little longer. And can't we use a little bit more Buddha moments in our lives? Right. So in-breath, Buddha, out-breath. So I did that for 15 years. The chanting book, I mastered the whole chanting book. Everyone, even the senior monks had to use the chanting book. I'm the only one in there chanting without the book. And they were just like, oh my God, who is this kid? And when the monks had to go to the funerals, I would take over the chants, which is one of the most honorable things to do, to hold the microphone. It's like, hello? Anyone hear me? They were all, that thought it was the cutest thing ever. And yeah, but now that I've grown so spiritually old, as you all can imagine, yeah, I forget. I even skip words. It's indicative of spiritual growth and development. You start to forget a lot of things, actually. But I'm sure it's not dementia.
No.
But yeah, along the way, I journaled, I wrote, I studied cognitive behavioral therapy, always digging into what's the meaning in life, what's the purpose in life from age 14 on forward. There's historical evidence in my room, which he will review. It's all scanned too. It's one button and you can see it all. My whole life is now under examination, as it should be, for everyone to be inspired by do the path to peace. Yeah, I mean, I've started young and didn't know that it was going to be here now, but all of you can start now. It's not too late to grasp onto as much as you can. And with a good qualifying teacher, you learn to let go, of which I've done at many funerals. I mean, not funerals, but dying beds. You know, I looked at them dead in their eyes, sheer in their eyes, and I said, follow my lead. And I helped them let go. Just let go. Just let go. And we chant, and that's why in Buddhist funerals, we chant while they're still alive, because they remember, they recall how to let go. And I said, that's all we can hope for. Just they let go at the moment. Just that, you know, we like hang on to that, right? Really tightly, to loved ones, money, possessions, mom, dad, sister, brother. And then when we start chanting, that grip loosens. It loosens, it loosens, it loosens. And eventually, that's what you see. Watch the hands. That's what you see. That's bliss right there. Kind of like Jack and Rose in Titanic.
Oh.
Where you see it's like, but it's such a beautiful thing, right? But she had to let go. She learned to let go in that moment, into the dark, mysterious as he comes down.
I'm gonna move you over and let him get out.
Yeah, like
I know.
girl, you don't move.
Let's go.
Go now, go, girl, move. So much emotion towards the end, right? As we're watching all it unfold, and I'm like, rewind. Let me see that door again. Everyone try to rewind and look at the door, right? Right.
It was so big. I'm like the two of them.
But-
in the car together.
But yeah, as a life of a monk, and novice will enjoy that. He will really enjoy it. You know, like a priest, he does baptisms and stuff like that, and he also is there to anoint and body of Christ in the last communion and the last unifications of God. But as monks, it's like, yeah, along our young path, we teach people to let go. Then it's like when we hear the purple team calls us from hospice, empath health, and we excitedly get there and everything slows down. They're dying so quick, but our vision, everything slows down. It's like nirvana in the moment of holding their hands and comforting. And then as soon as we know that they can hear us just a little bit, and we let George, today's the day to let go. Follow my lead. And then it's just to watch them let go, and just the last somewhere you see this little jerk of smile, and you realize. And then the funeral comes when the embalming process, and you see some look really mad when they go.
Yeah.
They didn't want to let go, And then some you just look at, you're like, well, you're just sleeping, aren't you? It makes the conversation easier when they're in the coffin, in the casket, and you realize that this was a life well lived. It makes it easier for the family and everyone else to hold the microphone and said, through it all, he done lived a good life, y'all. And today we rejoice the celebration of life. And he will reap that. He will get that. I've gotten a lot of that. And when I first started out 8 years ago in monk training, It was the death meditation part. Talk about a young monk. And you see all these death. There was death in Vietnam. It was by another teacher, and I was very, very young. And he's all excited. He's like the phone rings at 11 o'clock at night. I'm still sitting there listening to teachings till 12 o'clock at night. Poor monk. He's like, oh, we got a funeral. Let's go. I'm like, he grabs his robes and what? And off we go. And it's not like American funerals. It's in the home. It's decaying. The smell, the eyeballs, the discoloration. So he's close to the body. The body's like right here, and I'm like, Venerable Tongue. You know, and it's so beautiful too when he writes, when he closes his eye and he blesses the body in Chinese. Oh God, I loved it. But just that part. So I had to master death quickly, which is something you should not do with young students. He was just really busy. I stepped into his life. So, but yeah, so now I get to be perhaps one of the youngest supervising teacher in the world, sitting on a panel of Buddhist scholars, one of 40 in the world, and to now skillfully, and not just any young monks, a Gen Zoomers, you know, the complexity and challenges with Gen Zoomers, the me generation. I mean, all of us grew up in me generation. Me, my ice cream, my everything, right?
MySpace.
Right, MySpace, MySpace.com. And to time it just right, to be beautiful and gentle, but to know to be stern and strict and disciplined, you know, and just with the eyes alone, to be stern and strict and disciplined, and to know so they don't embarrass me in front of my teachers when they have their ADHD moments. One has to know how to tame, which is the eyes. So again, and then it remain beautiful towards the middle of the day and the end of the day. Excellence in the beginning, excellence in the middle, and excellence in the end. That's right. So we have to always adjust our skillfulness, and it's through the Sunday sessions that I become a better teacher. And I do it so that, you know, I'm like, any questions? How'd that work out? You know.
I have a question. How do you do the baptism? Because I know, like in like Catholic baptism, you baptize the.
Oh well, here we don't try to drown you.
Okay.
Here we.
I just wasn't sure.
In Buddhism, we give you the precept. So you ask for the precept. You come to the monk and you say, may I now take the 5 precepts so that I may have more peace in my life and practice the way. And then we conduct the giving of the precepts, which, we chant, we have you repeat. And part of your repeating is some in Pali, which is, Panatipata Veramani Sikha Patang Samadhiyami. That's Pali. And it says that I undertake the training to refrain from killing. But it's the word that's very important. I undertake the training to refrain. We didn't say you couldn't do it. We're telling you, try not to do it. You know, that mosquito, that annoying mosquito, try to shoo them away. Try to catch them and like let them go, but try not to be like, ah! That. I know how y'all are in your homes. But that's what's beautiful. It's like no sin, you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, if you take a life, the explanation is your life will be shortened and you will have more pains in your life, more physical pain if you take another life or being, right? Once you understand that, wisdom arises and you're like, oh, I should not smack that spider because I might wake up with more back pain or my neck.
Respect the spider to say, you stay away from me and I'll stay away from you. I will kill you and you'll kill me.
Right. And some creatures are smart enough to know that you want them to go. So if you just have a conversation with them, they can hear. They'll understand because they were once humans. In Buddhism, they were once humans. So if you just have that radiating loving kind of like, please, Mr. Spider, I'm really afraid of you. And then you know that if you got on me, you know that I would take rebirth.
Yeah.
You know everything. So please leave so I can have peace. So you can have peace. I'm pretty sure there's a bigger house down there.
Yeah.
2416 Fake Street. But yeah, you just have it's about reestablishing a different relationship with other beings, right? And to bring beauty back as humans. That's it. So at any time you all like to take the precepts, we're more than happy to do it. Gives him a chance to observe and practice. He's has a long way to go. I'm trying to compress 21 years of my experience into a couple of years, hopefully 2.
Are there many women that are monks?
Yes, so we call them, we are bhikkhus, they are bhikkhunis. Bhikkhunis. Isn't that cool?
Do they wear orange
Bhikkhuni.
as well?
I'm sorry?
Do they wear orange as well?
They can.
Okay.
So the Buddhist nun and then the bhikkhuni order. So Buddhism we don't exempt from praise and blame when it comes to not favoring, women. So along the way, the bhikkhuni order extinguished, and Ajahn Brahm has brought it back. Other small countries has brought it back. I promise to bring it back, but I need a lot of support. It touches a lot of politics, but I'm one because of my law background. I can confidently charge forward and bring back the same order. But you have to go in certain specific place and specific teachers to do it in order to wear the same colors. It's always my stance, and as it's always been publicly over the past many years, to stand up for LGBTQIA+, crimes against poor, poverty, hunger, malnutrition, education, and women's rights. Very outspoken about it, as you all can imagine. The blood within the Theravadins and the blood within the law and order personality. It takes one to not put up with a lot of things, to stand up for women's rights and the rights of humans, of justice and equality and equity. But it's by and through the support of the lay people that understands this and understands the monk, his vision, so that we all move through this life together skillfully, point A to point B. We got 50 years to live. How do we want to live it? How do we want to tame this life together, right? And be our own leaders,
Will you continue to do this on Sunday?
Yeah, that's a good question. So, I was, I do get disappointed sometimes when students don't do homework and don't go through. There's hundreds and thousands of students, hundreds that call, and thousands in 1 year, and we're constantly adjusting how we do things, but they fall into laziness, procrastination, like we all do. And it's only one of me and a few assistants that take on the task, the perennial task, the daunting task, a very exhaustive task without a lot of resources. And so because of the discouragement and disappointment, sometimes I sit there and I'm like, I don't know what to do. I've exhausted all available existing science to help these people. And my thing is always to use science, because then you can't blame yourself. So it is dependent. So we will have it next Sunday, and I'm just watching for attendance. As soon as attendance start to die down, is it worth my time? Or they can just go to YouTube, and it frees up time for his training, the absorption of his training, to be with nature and to wind down. During the work week, he works from 8 until 4. He's exhausted by then. To study academically 4 hours after that, and on the weekends to blend it together with meditation. So it's designed to be. I've never stopped my whole life of studying, ever. There's pictures and record of me at the beach with my textbook like this thick on the beach, is sand on it, flipping, And when I worked as a jeweler or any downtime, I didn't, post selfies. Sat there and opened pen and paper and wrote. So in order to save the next generation and their generation's totality as a whole, they have to know how to discipline yourself. Sit your ass down, read.
So your hope is that anybody who comes here on Sundays is going to want to do the precepts and then whatever the sequence is for studying. You don't want people to just show up and not be serious about.
I want them to show up. I want them to practice. I want them to tell me how they have been practicing. I want them to tell me if they have, what have they read and how they have investigated things. It should be approached in this way. Number one, everything's all online, free and online. If I say go home, figure out what is the Four Noble Truth, you sink your teeth into it. It's so easy. It's the Four Noble Truth and the Noble Eightfold Path. That's it. The laziness comes from because if I told you you have a disease, if I told you you had osteoporosis, I bet you go home and WebMD that. You would have a PhD in osteoporosis if you had it, right? And you would know when, how, where, why, best treatment, who's the best doctor. So spirituality is you knowing yourself, and how you're studying medicine to treat life. We meditate not to get better at medicine. We meditate to get better at life. That's it. So you must take this seriously, like I did. I've walked the path. I have conquered my greed, anger, delusion. So you all must do it. You have to rise up all the strength that you have and do the work. And once you do the work, you will become a noble person. And others will know it right away. They will realize, damn, that's the one. That is the one. So yeah, you come do the work. I don't care about money. I don't care about donations. Come and do the work. And I will know it because the teacher, the professor, just have to hear it. And they know if you've done the work or not by and through their questionings. It's ever easy to just follow instructions. When you guys speak, I'm the student. When you open the door for me, I'm the student. It's humbling and it's part of giving up. It's learning to unlearn. Like I tell him, I don't know Jack, but I know Tom, right? And we have to tell ourselves that, to learn new things again and let go of the negative acquired emotions and let go of negative acquired bad habits. And that's how you will grow. You're welcome. So if that's all, okay, I'm pretty sure these guys want to eat lunch.